I'm ready. What up? Let's get to it. So we got some more observations from Minnesota Vikings and the New England Patriot joint practices. I'm gonna dive into the articles in a minute. But as we know, it's gonna be different stories, different articles, rumors coming out, especially with JJ McCarthy, the defense, the offense, how did he perform, how did they perform, et cetera, right? And like I've been saying, at the end of the day, these joint practices are more important than preseason games right now, especially for some players, especially the first stringers, JJ McCarthy, first team defense, first team offense. You really get to compare starter versus starter, the best versus the best, dog. You know, matchups will be won, matchups will be lost, but majority of the time, who's winning the battle? That's the big question, dog. How are the Vikings looking as a team? Now, like I said, it's not going to be all pretty, not going to be perfect nor smooth. It's the beginning of training camp for real, dog. Joint practices, boom, about 3 weeks, a month away from the season kicking off, a little less than a month. So they're still getting acquainted, accustomed to the speed, going up against a new team. Now, today, we'll see what's really going on, what's really going down, huh? Is it improvement? Have they all gotten better? Learn from the mistakes. We're gonna see, homie. Check me out live tonight. Come rock and roll with Big SKOL. You hear me, dog? Believe that. But at the end of the day, let's just get right into the article. No need to wait. And these are from people from the front line sitting there watching the games. I mean, not the games, watching the joint practices, watching the players play. So you want to get the inside scoop, the 411 from a reliable source, correct? Heavy, homie. We know how these beat writers do, how these people create stories for views, clout, guapino, federale. We know how it goes, man, the room we're in. But you want to try to really listen to the people who are at practice, attending practice, huh? The people in Minnesota, fans in Minnesota. You know what I mean? So let's get into it, bro. See what's going on here, right? The big question, of course, the big question will be, how does JJ McCarthy look? How does JJ McCarthy look, right? At the end of the day, that will be the big thing, right? Let's check it out. 6 observations, young QBs, JJ McCarthy and Drake May log reps, Vikings and Patriots defenses apply pressures. That's what it's about, homie. What do we got here? Let's see what this is here. A highlight video or something.
This would be a great opportunity to go against a talented team, well-coached team. We'll see how much they do defensively. They have a lot, and so it's always a great challenge there.
Got so much respect for Braves and our relationship over the years. A lot of familiar faces. Just looking forward to teams getting really good work.
It's a good place to work up here. That's why when we came up here before in Tennessee, good experience, excellent experience. Come back. Plus, I like the cheese curds.
My man said he liked the cheese curds. Oh, that's not bad. Sack right there. Saw people saying, "Oh, the defense didn't apply pressure. The defense barely got sacks." I just saw a sack right there, maybe 2, right? Nice rock, man. McCarthy Addison. I'm telling you, that's a good connection, man. A major connection, though. See that? You really. Nice route. Nice play by Felton. Rookie. That's up. Yeah. Let's go. Sack. Get in the mix, go. Get physical, get physical. boy Jed is wild. But I can't wait till Jed get back, man. Just some highlights. Let's get into it. Eagan, Minnesota. Summer heated up Wednesday at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center as the Vikings hosted the New England Patriots for the first two of joint practices ahead of their game Saturday. Fair weather and spirited competition greeted a sellout crowd that included Baseball Hall of Famer Joe Mauer. Shout out Joe Mauer. The practices returned 8 former Vikings to their old stomping grounds. Center Garrett Bradbury, wide receiver Stephon Diggs, QB Joshua Dobbs, safety Marcus Epps, tackle Vidarian Lowe, guard Tyrese Robinson, defensive lineman Karis Tunga, and kicker Parker Romo. Damn, a long list. A 9th former Viking defensive lineman Jaquilin Roy is on New England's injured reserve. Asked about the structuring of the two seasons with 2024 top 10 draft pick quarterbacks J.J. McCarthy and Drake May trying to make strides in the Vikings and Patriots systems, head coach Kevin O'Connell explained that it's beneficial to hold the practices this far into camp to really assess what will be asked of the 22-year-olds. Still, O'Connell noted the reality that there will be unscouted looks all over the field. Facts, man. You know what I'm saying? This is joint practices, homie. They've had no time to game plan. They're not sitting there game planning about practice, right? Scouting players for joint practice. It's all going with the flow, man. But it's a good thing for the NFL, homie, for real. You really get to see where your team's at, your young players, young starters are at, correct? Heavy, homie. Let's get it. That leads to stiffer challenges in an environment that doesn't require much to raise the temperature. This is not something where there's 10 weeks of film on both sides and we can anticipate exactly how personnel are going to be used or anticipate some tendencies and things like that. It's not that, shared O'Connell, adding what he wants to see from his young quarterback. I don't want to speak for Vrabes, but I think we're both looking for a lot of the parts of things that they can control to consistently be to the standard that we ask and then be able to evaluate the post-snap work to have a great understanding of where the player's at. And while we still have a nice runway here leading up to the regular season of how we then need to prepare from there. Drake obviously got some good experience last year. He's in a new system this year. O'Connell continued. JJ didn't have the work last year, but he's in the same system for the second year. Mentally second year, baby, and mentally veteran. Boom, let's get it. So there's differences, but I think both organizations are really excited about the players. So it's going to be fun to watch those guys compete. That's what it's about, baby. Let's get it, man. All right, let's see, man. Justin Jefferson remains sidelined by a mild hamstring strain, but it's definitely progressing, per O'Connell. Other non-participants included fullback C.J. Ham, outside linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel, safety Harrison Smith, tight end Nick Vanett, and defensive lineman Levi Drake Rodriguez. So let's get to what's going on, man. Here we go. Number 1, no running allowed. We got a dose of deja vu watching Minnesota's first defense smother the Patriots' run game. In 3 different team periods Wednesday, New England's running backs found little room to squeeze between the tackles. That's a great sign for the defense, and that's why you got to read every story and pay attention to the false reports and real reports, dog. Heavy year. No cap, man, huh? Although whistles were quick, there were plenty of thuds and loud pops and holes. Interior, man, trenches where their games are won, homie. Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, great additions, huh? On one snap, Vikings linebacker Blake Cashman flew downhill into a gap and met Antonio Gibson for a loss. On another, second-year defensive lineman Taki Tamani blasted a run by J. McCall Hasty, generating an echo chamber of yeah, talk, courtesy many players and coaches standing on the sideline. Taki Tamani, another player to watch out for on the interior, huh? Young player, second year in, UDFA. Big body, dog, big body. Last year, Minnesota's run defense ranked second in the NFL in yards allowed per game, 93.4. The group's overall continuity, plus the arrivals of Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave, paints a scary image. New England's best rush of the afternoon came from undrafted rookie Shane Watts, who bounced a couple times to his left for a first down and chewed up green grass before the play was whistled dead. On the other field, however, New England was successfully in stuffing runs by Minnesota. Ty Chandler and Xavier Scott each ripped off a nice run in team drills on a day that emphasized first down, second and long, and some third down situations. Come on, moving company. Come on, O-line. Get it together now. We need to move, huh? Sacks. New England's offense never went more than a few plays without Minnesota's sideline celebrating an apparent sack. May targeted players deep for a fair amount, which forced him to hold the ball a tick longer than normal. But even on quicker attempts, he faced a good amount of pressure from Minnesota's unapologetic front. That's what's up, man. A great sign right there. In one instance, the number 3 overall pick spun a pass off his back foot to Diggs, except Cashman and Allen were on him, inciting calls for a sack from the Vikings sideline. Shortly after that, May was sacked again, with pressure applied from numerous angles and multiple guys, including second-year pro Dallas Turner. Let's go, DT. Of course, pressure doesn't always equate to a sack, but it can similarly get the job done. Late in practice, May tried a screen pass but failed to locate his outlet or a way to fit him the ball, because Grenard, Harrison Phillips, Ivan Pace Jr., and Jeff Okudah shot their arms into his sideline. McCarthy, who also encountered pressure in the pocket. Patriots prized off-season acquisition Milton Williams won a rep and provided a learning opportunity for the Vikings rookie Donovan Jackson. As we know, that is a learning curve. It's part of the process, man. You win some, you lose some, right? And Harold Landry III dipped and zipped around Brian O'Neill on a play later on. At this time, we'll mention that in our history of covering joint practices, the defenses for both teams almost always have more to write home about. Taking away the rock, the Vikings tied for the league lead last season with 33 turnovers forced and picked up their efforts Wednesday with a pair of sweet takeaways and a couple more plays that almost entered the box score. Dwight Nudie McLaughlin got the fun rolling with an instinctive interception of Dobbs in the first 11-on-11 period. Shout out Nudie. McLaughlin matched the receiver's route and broke downhill to collect a quick throw by Dobbs to his right. The pass landed in Nudie's lap, and the 2024 UDFA zoomed it back for 6 points. Let's go, man. Coincidentally, McLaughlin bolstered his case to make the 53-man roster last season with the interception in the team's joint practices at Cleveland. He supported a strong performance in that setting with a pick and 90-yard return to the 8-yard line in the exhibition that followed against the Browns. And there you go, man. Make a name for yourself. We didn't see too much from McLaughlin in the preseason game, but joint practices, make a name, dog. Heavy, man. In the final compete portion of practice, safety Jay Ward axed the New England 2-minute drive by baiting and jumping a short Dobbs pass over the middle. It helped even the score after a Travion Henderson touchdown catch early in the period. While May avoided any interceptions Wednesday, he nearly paid the price twice. Byron Murphy Jr., who plucked 6 picks in his 2024 Pro Bowl campaign, created excitement in a team period when he bolted for a ball distributed to the left sideline and broke it up. In the second 2-minute drill, Isaiah Rodgers slid and almost snatched an underthrown pass by May to a similar part of the field. Recapping 2-minute drills. The Vikings and Patriots first teams on offense and defense, and second teams on defense and on offense and defense, each logged important work in a 2-minute drill near the end of practice. The offenses took possession at their 30-yard line, trailing 24-21 with 1:15 remaining. McCarthy started the drive with a completion to T.J. Hockenson for 9 yards and followed with a screen pass to Aaron Jones Sr. that gained 11, quickly moving the ball to midfield. A false start by the offense, however, created a 1st and 15. McCarthy faced pressure and tried to hit Jalen Naylor on first down, but the pass was a little behind the receiver. He also lived to face another down by avoiding pressure and throwing the ball out of bounds on second down. Smart play. On 3rd and 15, he scrambled for a gain of 10, stopping the clock by cruising out of bounds. On 4th and 5, the protection was good, allowing him to throw a strike to Jordan Addison for a gain of 14. Minnesota opted to run on the play that followed instead of taking a shot at the end zone and then sent out Will Riker for a 48-yard field goal. Riker made that one and followed with successful kicks of 33, 44, 48, and 53 during the final period of practice. So overall, nice 2-minute drive by McCarthy. You didn't get the victory, but you tied the game. Real season situation, you go to overtime. Let's get it. Minnesota's second team offense stalled at his 41-yard line thanks to pass breakups by Kobe Minor and Jordan Polk on 1st and 3rd down, respectively. Minnesota's first team defense allowed a long touchdown to Henderson, the 2nd-round pick out of Ohio State. The running back who housed the kickoff return last week in his NFL debut found space on a wheel route and cruised to the end zone on the 2nd play of the drive. Can't have those lapses by the defense. After Ward's interception of Dobbs, the first teamers took one more opportunity. Cashman logged what would have been a sack on the 2nd play. Rodgers recorded a pass breakup, and Okuda sealed the series with coverage on Mac Hollins. Jackson's action. Jackson, Minnesota's first pick of 25, had a role in one of the most memorable plays of the day. On a 2nd and 7 play during a team period, McCarthy dodged pressure and found a window to deliver the ball to Jones on a screen pass. The running back wasn't accounted for and started cruising down the right sideline. I seen this highlight. It almost unfolded in slow motion as Jackson hustled down the field and Jones set up his blocks. Jackson sent Patriots DB Jalen Hawkins sailing through the air to create more yards on the play before New England defender eventually tracked down and tagged Jones. Great sign for Donovan Jackson, man, getting out there, getting active, homie. You know what I'm saying? Getting out there, getting active, baby. Suns start in 7-on-7. The first competition period between the Vikings and Patriots involved 7-on-7 passing that featured Addison, Hawkinson, and others. McCarthy opened the possession with 3 consecutive completions to Addison, including one for about 20 and another for more than 10 yards. I told you the McCarthy to Addison connection will be real, huh? Believe that, baby. Believe that. He followed with a completion to Deshaun Jones to finish his first 4 reps. After 4 completions by Sam Howell, including 2 to rookie tight end Bryson Nesbitt, McCarthy added completions to Naylor and Hawkinson, who made multiple other impressive catches on the day. I heard Hawkinson had a big day, dog, so shout out Hawk, homie. Heavy, you hear me? Minnesota's final 2 passes of the period, however, were a throw deep left to Addison that was broken up by Miles Battle, and an overthrow to Naylor that was intercepted by Marcus Jones. And that's part of the game, part of the process, man. McCarthy is still growing. He is still a rookie physically, huh? First year in for real, huh? And that's what it is, dog. That's how it goes sometimes, baby. Let's get it. You know? Let's get it, though. Joint practices are upon us. It's on, man. It's on, dog. You hear me, huh? Believe that, man. Yeah, so that's, like I say, come rock and roll with me tonight. We're gonna dive in more on day 2, preseason game coming up. Big SKOL here, you know what it is. Fire them comments up, man. How you feel about joint practices? What have you been hearing, huh? Yeah, big SKOL here. SKOL Vikes win, lose, or draw forever. We run the North. Believe that. Yeah.